Hi, everyone, and welcome to the OCNJ Local, your podcast for everything happening here in America's greatest family resort. We're your hosts, Dominick Dougherty and Drew Fasy.
And we are your local guys.
It's finally here, Drew. Today is the day, the 4th of July.
It is here. What's the countdown, Dom?
We are at 62 days until Labor Day. And I'll tell you what, man, I've been on the island now for 12 years, full-time, year-round, no break, 12 years. And I would say that this 4th of July is probably the most crowded I've seen it in a long time.
It's busy out there, buddy. There's a
man.
lot of people in town. Today is it, right? Today is everyone's here. You got residents here. You got second homeowners here. You got weekly visitors here. You got Airbnb weekend visitors. You got day trippers. You got, I didn't cover everything yet, but you got a lot of people in town today.
I mean, what's more 4th of July than fireworks at the Jersey Shore, pizza on the boardwalk, French fries, sitting on the beach getting sunburnt as you possibly can today. Like, what's more 4th of July than that?
And it was a hot one. It was hot today.
It was, man.
And, felt like full on summer, the humidity, and it was hot.
Well, that's what we say, man. I've said it before on this podcast, and I will maintain it till, there's no more breath in my lungs. The 4th of July is the official start to the summer at the Jersey Shore, where, it's no holds bar now for the next 62 days, because that's how many days we have till Labor Day, where people are just coming and doing what they want and having a good old time, because it's summer and it is on.
The best holiday of the year. We've talked about this.
Yeah, I mean, it is. Yeah. It is. It's crazy because I figured, tomorrow was going to be a little crazy. I wanted to maybe shoot some of those fireworks off that I was telling that I got. And I went down to the beach on Saturday night. A little past curfew. I won't say when, but it was a little past curfew. And, it was a beach, not in a very busy area. However, there were a ton of people down there. There were fishermen. There were people walking their dog.
Yo, slow down there, bud. On the beach?
On the beach at past curfew.
Dogs are not allowed on the beach between, May 1st and October 1st.
Hey, well, they were down there, and I felt bad because I'm shooting off fireworks. I don't want to upset these dogs, but they're out there. It appeared to me that where
people on the beach after 8 o'clock?
Fishermen. There were fishermen. There might have been a few kids down there in that area where I was.
Backpacks? Big question. Backpacks?
I might have saw a backpack or two. I might have.
What? Did you sure you were in Ocean City?
I'm positive I was in Ocean City. I was right by Wildwood. I was right by the end of Ocean City. I'll just leave it at that.
Hey, don't be setting fireworks off in not my neighborhood.
Listen, I don't know what you're
talking about. My
dog
does not like fireworks.
Listen, we were down at the end, and people might have found a new place to congregate. They might have found a new place, a little bit away from, the hustle and bustle. Let's put it that way.
Well, yeah, it's found. I can tell you, it's found. It was packed.
Yeah. So, but it is what it is, and it's summertime, and I saw
people parked in front of my house today going to the beach, like in front of my house.
Like,
parked in front of my house, like that's my spot. You can't park on the street in front of my house.
I believe the curb actually says parking for Drew Fasy only on it.
Because I wrote it.
I believe it does. I mean, I pulled up and parked the wrong way one time, and I thought you were going to ticket me right there. Or put me under citizen's arrest. I was pretty sure that was going to happen.
Get my gun and my badge. I came very close.
Well,
wrong way.
I'm glad you spared me that ticket that time. Listen, I live further away from the beach than you do, and I've had people in front of my house for like 5 days now. So same car. I'm about to call and get the orange abandoned sticker on there. If it doesn't move pretty soon.
We're obviously being funny here because we're reading some of this stuff on social media where people are complaining about people parking in front of their houses and all the stuff going on. There's people on social media complaining about it.
Oh man,
it's not to be expected at the shore on 4th of July weekend.
So
dogs on the beach, bicycles on the boardwalk.
Oh man,
lions and tigers and bears. Oh my!
Yeah. So I guess that kind of brings us to our topic for today is why can't we all just get along? We all love Ocean City. We're all here for the same reasons because it's a beautiful place. It's a lot of fun. It's a great sense of community. However, like you said, Drew, there is no shortage of social media infighting, in-person infighting,
complaining,
just constant back and forth.
Yeah.
And
it always devolves into your status, your residency status, right?
Yes. What is your claim? What is your claim to Ocean City?
Well, now
what is
you can claim anything you want, right? Which people will and frequently do. But there's a reality and we need to lay that out.
And before we lay that out, I have to say that this is all meant in fun. I know that we've been pretty serious on our past few episodes. We wanted to do this one because, we've talked about it in person and we talk about it with some of our buddies and we always get a good chuckle about it. So this is all in good fun.
It is. I'm glad you said that. It is in good fun. I personally have found it very funny for years and years and years. The Hatfield and McCoy type mentality between I'll just say residents and non-residents.
The funny thing is though is how much there's this Hatfield and McCoy, yet they all depend on each other. We all need each other.
We all need each other
to make Ocean City what Ocean City is.
That's why I find it so darn funny.
Yeah,
is that the highest of the high, right? The natives, and the lowest of the low, the day tripping shoobies, and everyone in between truly depend upon each other to make this island work, right?
100%.
If it wasn't for the locals preparing the island and manning the restaurants and the amusements and the boardwalk and the police and the fire and
so we're getting a little ahead of ourselves here. You mentioned residents and non-residents, but within this resident and non-resident category groups, there are some categories. So let's start with the residents of Ocean City. What are the categories or groups that fall under being a resident of Ocean City?
Well, you have the two main categories, which are local and native. So to be a native, you have to have been born in Ocean City, raised in Ocean City, and you have to have graduated from Ocean City High School.
And you still live here today.
And you still live today. Now, there are rules within the native culture that I'm not aware of because I'm not a native, nor are you.
Nor am I.
I believe you're allowed to go away to college and come back and still be classified as a native. I believe that's acceptable.
Well, there isn't an Ocean City University yet. I say that yet because there might be one soon. That's for a different podcast.
Yes.
But you are allowed to leave
yes,
to go to college.
You're allowed to leave to go to college. You could get your master's. You could get your PhD. If you come back, you're still a native because you went away to school. You're also you're allowed to backpack through Europe post college, but there's a limit.
Or travel and go surfing. You can do that.
Travel. Yeah, you travel and go surfing. But there's a limit. It has
I think
to be less than 6 months. You have to be back in Ocean City within 6 months.
6 months. You think it is?
To maintain your. That's what my people tell me.
That's what your native friends tell you.
That's what my native friends tell me.
You are allowed a 6-month grace period where you don't call Ocean City a home.
Post college.
Yeah. Wow.
So that's the native. So that's the highest life form in Ocean City, right?
Hands down.
There's no question.
No, native.
And if you don't believe us, just ask them.
Yes, just ask them. I believe their shit actually does not stink.
Hey.
I believe it does not. Hey, listen.
You're not allowed to curse in front of natives.
I apologize. I apologize. This is a Christian town.
That's right.
So, they can do no wrong. Natives also, at any given point, are mad at everyone except other natives.
Yes, that's correct. Yes.
I believe they have a secret handshake. Again, I don't know it. You don't know it either because we are not natives.
I have never been to a meeting.
No, I have not. And nor will we ever be.
We can never achieve that status.
We can never achieve that status. Now our kids may be able to do that.
My son Aiden, who just graduated from Ocean City High School, born and raised in Ocean City, is a native. Benny and Lucy, Dom, sorry, they're not there yet.
They're earning their badge.
They're working their way towards it, but they're not there yet.
Listen,
now, my son Aiden is.
I got one through the primary school. The other one's got one more year left. So we're working our way up.
You're halfway there.
We're getting there.
So that's native. So that's the other residents are
their cars literally float as they go through the islands.
That's the native. Then you have the locals. So locals were not born and raised here, but they live here and have lived here for some indeterminate amount of time. And depending upon who you speak to, it could be a different time frame of how long it takes to be a local.
Yes, you do not move to Ocean City and all of a sudden become a local. Does not work that way. No, not at all.
Yeah, you might think that's the case. But that's not the case.
No.
Because you own a home here and pay taxes here and your kids go to school here doesn't mean you're a local yet.
Does not.
Now, I always thought that you had to go through 2 full winters before you'd be classified as a local.
That's light work, Drew. That's light work.
That's what I'm finding out.
That is light work. So I grew up on the mainland, Summers Point, Linwood. That's where I grew up. Went to Mainland Regional High School. Boom, big. That's a big native, and check mark because I'll never get my native status. I moved here in 2011. So I've been here for 12 years now. And I would say I did not really consider myself a local until after 8 or 9 years of living here.
So that's a little bit long for the norm, but you have years added on because you went to mainland.
That sounds about right. I think someone coming from somewhere like
had you gone to Bridgeton High School, for example, then it might have been 5 years to be a local. But mainland, there's definitely years added on.
Now, you've told me that some of your local friend or some of your native friends have said it can take up to 10 years to gain local status.
One native said that, and he wouldn't corroborate that. So he may have been trying to throw me off the scent. I'm not really sure, because 10 years does seem like a really long time. I think he was trying to I think he was trying to throw me off there.
So to be considered a resident, you either have to be a native and, born, raised here, went to high school here, went to college, came back without more of a 6-month break, and Ocean City is your home.
Yes.
Or you call Ocean City your home 365 days a year. You're registered to vote here. This is your home. And, you don't have homes. You can have homes other places, all that stuff, but this is your spot. This is your home base for January through December, no matter what. That's to be considered a resident.
A local. A local.
Those two categories I'm saying are what makes you a resident. Resident. All right. You, in the hierarchy, yes. To be a local, you can have transplanted from somewhere else. And, we'll.
But then you have a third category, and that is what's known as the dwellers of local purgatory.
The dwellers of local purgatory.
Yeah. So that's when you move here. You own your home, you have a mortgage, you're registered to vote, your license says your Ocean City address. You might have kids in school. You think you're a local, but you're not. You're not local yet. You're in purgatory for a little bit. So that's that time period.
Yes, I'll tell you what. After COVID, there are a lot of purgatory residents here at this point.
Yes.
100%. I think what, now that
they get an extended period of time also, because we're not really sure they're gonna stick around.
You think?
Some of them, yeah. We're suspect. They have to prove themselves.
Now, as locals, can we even say that? I mean, this is more probably of a native discussion that they have at their meetings.
Well, we can say it, but of course, the final word is that of the natives.
That's true. Now, I said there wasn't really a time frame. I said it was more once you've befriended a native. Like, and by befriend, I don't mean like you say hi to them when you pick up your kids at school. Like, you do stuff with them. You take their kids places. You go. Your families are intertwined and involved. I think that's when you kind of gain that local status, when you get approval of the natives, and that can take a long time.
It can take a long time, and you may be have a false sense of security there, because they're still talking about you at their meetings before they're fully accepting you, Don.
Oh, 100%, 100%. That's just how Ocean City rolls. So, but again,
so that's the resident side,
yes.
Right? That's the resident side. Now we need to break down the non-residents,
and this is probably where we're gonna upset more people than when we talked about the residents, because the people who are the residents, they understand it, they get it. They're like,
they
okay, they get it. So
I don't even think the natives will be upset about us peeking behind the curtain, honestly.
Yeah, I don't think we gave too much of a view into that world. I mean, but we don't have a view. We only know what we hear in passing when we pass them on the boardwalk in their conversations.
It's like looking at the sun, man.
100% true. That is a great analogy. It's like looking at the sun.
So, we'll talk about the non-residents, but just know that we love them too.
Yes,
right. We love them all. Second homeowners, vacationers, full summer residents, day trippers. You might just come into Ocean City for an hour to get Manco and Manco pizza. We still love you.
We do.
Even if you park in front of Dom's driveway, we still love you.
That's okay. And you know what? Feel free to do it, because obviously I'm a softie and I'm not even going to give you a ticket or tell you. So just go ahead. Have at it. With the fireworks tonight, good chance it could happen again. Good chance.
It's going to. So the non-residents. So we have our second homeowners, of course, right? We have our.
Whoa. Let's break this down, because there's definitely more of these, and a lot of these non-residents are the people, or I shouldn't say are the people, are the groups that the residents have the biggest issues with, because they're the ones that almost claim a bigger stake to Ocean City than the residents.
Wait, well, are you talking about the people whose grandparents have owned a place in Ocean City for 30 or 40 years and therefore believe that they're locals?
I'm talking about, yeah, like those people, these second homeowners.
That's a group. Well, that's a separate group from second homeowners.
People that are here from May to September trying to claim that they're local because they pay the same taxes. It's not how it works. To be a resident, January to December, 365, this is your home. This is where.
That's right. For a minimum of 2 winters and a maximum of 10 years, somewhere in that.
That gives you your residential status.
That's right.
Other than that, you are in purgatory, or you are not a resident.
You're not a resident,
a local, a native, or in purgatory. This is just your second home. So
that's right. So second homeowners and second homeowners who came down during COVID and stayed for several months. Right, we have that group. They're normally just here during the summer, but they came down in February or March of 2020 and stayed till the summer, stayed through the summer. That's a different group. Talk about the natives being up in arms. Natives didn't like that.
No,
no. Natives were not buying that.
No, when it was like, mid-September and you still had like July crowds on the boardwalk.
No bueno.
No bueno.
When the Acme was picked clean in April, no bueno. No. So you had that group. You have your second homeowners. You have your full season rentals, right? People will rent a place for the entire season. And generally speaking, in this day and age, you have to write a pretty big check to rent a place for the full season, right?
Yeah, you're talking, easily 5 figures.
Yeah. Oh, easily these days. So, so I don't really want to mention the E word, the entitlement, but that group, it falls in there, but we'll skip over that. We'll just breeze on by. Then you have your weekly rental vacationers, right? And it could be multiple weeks. Could be a month, could be 3 weeks, 2 weeks, or just a single week. So your weekly Saturday check-in, Saturday check-out vacationers, families coming down for generations, right? Generations of families have come down to Ocean City for their summer vacation. Sometimes these places, the properties have gotten bigger. You have generations living together for that week, right? You get mom and dad who brought their kids to Ocean City 50 years ago. Mom and dad are brought along with a family, maybe a brother and his family, or a sister and his family, and they all have kids. So you have 3 generations of people coming down and vacationing, right? And that's a great group of people. I love that group, right? I was that group. When I was a kid, we vacationed a week or a month in Ocean City. My father bought a home, so we were summer residents. But that's a great group of people, and that's kind of the lifeblood at the Jersey Shore. Wouldn't you say, from a tourism perspective?
Yeah, it's those
the weekly tenants are the life.
Those weekly tenants, those are the ones that they're kind of the glue that holds it all together. I would say that 100%.
Not a perfect bunch by any stretch of the imagination.
No,
they're coming down. So you have mom and dad, you have one of their siblings, and maybe 2 siblings with their spouses.
They're coming to get it, man.
Kids, maybe even grandkids. So there might be 4 generations, and they're renting let's say they're renting a 5-bedroom, house or floor of a duplex that has 2-car parking. They're bringing 8 cars. They're bringing 10 cars. And they're parking in front of your house, Tom.
The grandkids even have cars.
Grandkids, that's probably who's parking in your driveway.
100%. But no, like they definitely drive the economy around here. They definitely are, the changeover cleanings, the, Saturday to Saturday. You go to the beach on a Saturday afternoon or Saturday morning. It's beautiful. There's a few less people. All the weekly rentals are clearing out by Sunday morning or Saturday evening. Bam, you're back into.
They're back. Yep.
The full.
And again, that's a great group. That's a huge group, but that's a great group. But again, an imperfect group, right? Because they come to Ocean City every year, and it's their island for that week.
And again, no, they are not residents of Ocean City.
No, definitely not residents.
No matter how many years, how many generations, how many times you have come here, this is where you vacation. That's like me saying
grandma and grandpa might have met here after World War II and gotten engaged in Ocean City, but then moved back and just vacation here and brought their family here. That doesn't make you a resident.
Nope. Your claim is 0.
That's right.
0.
So then we have, in today's world, we have the Airbnb crowd, right? So they're the people who aren't even staying a week. They're renting 2 or 3 nights, maybe 4, right?
Yeah.
They're just whipping down for 3 days. They're doing whatever they want. They're speeding. They're parking backwards on the street. They're rolling through stop signs. They're our biggest offenders, wouldn't you say, Dom? Well, wait. We have another group. Let's not make that accusation just yet. So we have our 3 or 4, 2, 3, 4 day Airbnbers. Okay.
Their claim to Ocean City is probably actually negative, if possible. It's negative on the scale of things. Yeah. If a native can claim 100%, a local can claim, anywhere, I would say maybe 75 to 95% based on the amount of time that they've lived here.
Wow, that's generous.
Listen, 100%. If you're a native, you're 100% no matter what. You have no claim.
Without question.
When you're in that purgatory, you're probably in the 50-50. Could go either way. Either way. If you are a 4-day Airbnb, you are in the negative because, like you said, they are literally just like scorching the earth of Ocean City.
Wait, well, if we're going to graph this thing, we have another category, or might be lower on the scale or farther down the linear timeline to be kind. Okay. And that is the true day tripper.
Now, listen,
that's the person who gets up in the morning with a Pennsylvania randomly zip code, and by late morning they're sitting on the beach, and sometime before midnight they're back in that Pennsylvania zip code. That's a day tripper. That is what is affectionately known, where the term came from. Shooby, right? So that's back in the day. People in Philadelphia get on the train in the morning. They'd have their shoebox with their lunch in it. They'd come down. They'd spend the day. End of the day, they'd get on the train and go back home.
Now, I will say the shoeboxes have gotten a lot nicer in the forms of like Yeti coolers and various other things.
Yep.
But actually, I don't know if day trippers are bringing Yeti coolers. They're more like, they just got the ice.
Igloo. They're igloo.
They got the styrofoam igloo.
Yeah, the styrofoam.
Igloo. I've seen them go as far as to just putting the ice directly into the 12-pack with no other, just ice in the 12-pack.
Which they're drinking on the beach and leaving that behind.
Yes,
the empty bottles 100%. This is this is rumored that that's who's doing that.
Yes.
It's a rumor. I'm not making any personal accusations.
No, I would argue that the day tripper is honestly a little bit above this 4-day Airbnb.
Oh,
because
hear it.
Your expectation of the day tripper is zero. You have no expectation of the day tripper. You know, they're gonna shower in the sink in the bathroom. They're gonna
in the public bathroom,
in the sink of the public bathroom,
or take my hose and clean themselves off.
You know, they're gonna do whatever it is they need to do to get through that day.
Right.
I have no expectation for that person. If you're coming here and you're actually gonna like lay your head and sleep in Ocean City in a, you know, not in your car somewhere, which I haven't seen that yet. I'm sure it's coming soon. Lord knows I've slept in some funny places in Ocean City, underneath lifeguard towers, you know, stuff like that.
Under the Hotel Underwood.
Listen,
underneath the boardwalk.
Hotel Underwood. I've spent some time there.
Spent a few nights in Hotel Underwood.
Definitely, 100%. You know, but if you're going to rent and you're going to stay and you're going to pay some money to hang out, but you're still going to act as if you're only here for a few hours, I'm going to say that you actually are a little bit lower on the totem pole than the person who's just coming in and, you know,
well,
we're expecting to scorch the earth.
What's worse is if they act like they're locals. That's worse.
Now, I think that's the reason why we all just can't get along. I think that's really what it is that honestly, the residents, the locals, the natives, even those in purgatory have somewhat of a respect for Ocean City and what it is. It's those that don't. And we're not saying it's all the second homeowners, all the non-residents. Some of them just don't have a respect. They act as if they are the only people in town for that amount of time.
So the other side of that coin, right, is that those people, right, whomever they are, day tripper, Airbnb, weekly tenant, they feel that from the locals, and they feel disrespected because they are the drivers of the economy, and they should be held to a higher esteem than how the locals and natives treat them. They're a very good point.
I mean, listen, I seldom yell at non-residents. I yelled at one non-resident the other week because they almost hit my son. My son and I were riding our bike home, and they had to go around the car so they could get to the Acme 30 seconds sooner, and they almost hit my son. So, yeah, I gave somebody an earful then. Other than that, though, I let you run the stop signs. I let you park there. I may have some choice words for you in my head, you know, but I'm not out there like, you know, dumping my dog's shit on your car like I want to.
There you go again. There could be a native listening. Dom,
you know,
watch the language, man.
Sorry. Listen, this is an adult topic, so we're going to use some adult language here. All right.
But look, you might be thinking those bad thoughts in your head, but I believe that the non-residents feel some animosity, feel some tension with the locals, and that's part of the angst between the two groups.
Well, again,
and let's face it, there are those who those natives or locals who some of whom earn their living through the tourism industry and still openly are hostile to our visitors.
Listen,
right? I mean, am I wrong?
You're not wrong. I mean, there are definitely locals and natives and residents that are hostile and that have, you know, clash with the non-residents.
Which is funny. Which is another. I mean, it's funny to me witnessing it. I'm sure it's not funny to be on the receiving end of that if you're a visitor.
No, definitely not.
But that's why we're having this conversation, because it's funny on both sides, right? It's funny to witness all of this behavior. It's right. It's funny
it's great.
Entitlement. And it is entitlement. There's entitlement on both sides, and it's actually kind of funny to watch.
It's fun. It's definitely fun to be the observer. It's not fun when you're in it. It's not fun when you're having a clash with this person that by next Monday or next Sunday evening is not going to be anywhere near you for another 365 days. And yet they are in your space, in your face, blatantly being disrespectful to you. And it's like, what do you do? Like, I think Keyshawn Johnson said it best. Come on, man. Like, what are you doing?
So in their defense, Dom, folks, Dom and I met 3 years ago or so. We both coached and still coach together youth football, the Ocean City Junior Raiders.
Practice starts next week, Drew.
It's coming. And we instantly hit it off. I mean, like first day, like just clicked. The fact that his last name is Dougherty, my mother's maiden name is Dougherty. I thought he was Irish. I got, anyway.
Turns out I'm more Italian than anything.
Yeah, clearly. But when we first met,
I was not a local then. I was not a local then.
And I was suspect. I didn't. So, you being disrespected by visitors, I understand where they're coming from, Dom.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. And honestly, I think that was probably my slow transition into localhood or localdom, if you might call it that. When youth football and started to coach youth football and meeting more locals and natives alike. So I guess the question is, obviously we have these groups who have this very love-hate relationship, especially at this time of year.
And it's not just Ocean City. I mean, clearly.
Oh no, it's every shore town
up and
down the coast.
In fact, there's a different name.
Bennies is what they call them up in LBI and further north. It stands for like the boroughs of New York where they come from, and
is that
various other places. Yeah.
So I think that if there were a central New Jersey, there's not. Let's be very clear about that.
There's not.
There is no central New Jersey. There's north and there's south.
And that dates back actually to the Indian tribes that were in New Jersey. There was a north and south tribe here in New Jersey, and they hated each other so much that they spoke different languages and didn't trade with each other.
We're going to get into this north and south thing because it's the secession is long overdue. South Jersey needs to secede from New Jersey.
Well, at this point, I think the natives and the locals need to secede from Ocean City and somehow carve out their own little area of the island for them to stay in that Memorial Day to Labor Day timeframe where, it would be this little utopia of just, and no one would ever park in front of anyone's house, and stop sign would never be run.
Second homeowners pay taxes too, Dom.
Listen, you can pay the same taxes that I pay. You can pay double the taxes that I pay, triple the taxes that I pay. If you are not here from 365 days a year, you are not a resident and you are not welcome to secede with us.
And you're not getting any say in the local government, even though you pay taxes.
That is 100% true.
Wow.
Nope. Not in the secession. I think we just all take our own little spot, just go down there, be nice. It'd be great.
If only. So you're pointing down my way again, where you were on the beach with your dog lighting off your fireworks. No, I don't want you here.
Listen, it's nice down your way. My way is jamming. Maybe we go to the south end. That's kind of that's the unspoken territory here. Something that we didn't even really consider in this. Are you a resident? Like if you live down south of 34th Street. Are you even in Ocean City? Like,
I would say
where are
probably
you?
not. So
Like,
I've
what
had this
part of the world are you living in? To
I've
be
had
honest with you, I really
I've
want to
had
know.
this conversation with my buddy Joe Nay, who lives down on Clipper, I think he is. I'm probably wrong, but I don't get invited to his house ever, and don't have enough gas to drive all the way down there. And even if I was invited, but yeah, he's down in Ocean City Homes, and it's a different city, it's a different planet, it's a different solar system down in Ocean City Homes. I mean, is it Strathmere North? Is that what Ocean City Homes is?
Wow, that's a
I think it has a different zip code. I don't think they're served by the Ocean City Police or Fire. I don't know what they do down there, quite honestly. I don't know what the nays are all about down there.
I mean, it is a different world down there.
But maybe we
100%.
should. That's what I think you're onto something.
Yeah.
I think we should.
I mean, you've got courses in
Memorial Day
like
to
state parks down there.
Labor Day, let's go take over Ocean City Homes and stay down there and hunker down.
Now, listen, I'll be honest with you, my neighbor, like I said, I live in the thick of it. You can't get any more downtown than where I am. I mean, maybe if you lived on Asbury, you'd be more 2 blocks away. You'd be more
Right.
downtown than I am. My neighbor, they have 2 houses on the island. They are locals. They're here all the time. One house, though, is down in the South End, and every weekend, that's where they go. They go down to the South End.
They have a weekend vacation home in the South End.
In the South End, and that's where they go to escape the invasion every weekend.
We've just created a new category. That's the uber local. That's if you have a second home that you retreat to on weekends in Ocean City, you're an uber local.
You are just honestly, you know what? We're sitting here talking about seceding. They've already done it. They're living in 2030, Drew. They're way ahead of us. They're out lights out ahead of us. So
all right, so we've kind of established that we have the native, we have the local, we have the local in purgatory. Then we have the whole group.
Those are the residents. Those are the people that can claim some have some claim here in OC.
Yes. Then you have the second homeowners. You have the seasonal tenants. You have the weekly and bi-weekly tenants. You have the Airbnb short-term tenants. And then all the way down to your day tripper.
So I guess the real question is how do we all just get along, Drew? How do we make it? Because as we started this all out saying is we all depend on each other. We all need each other. We all do appreciate each other. How do we all get along? How's it happen?
Well, I don't have any problem personally doing it. Others do. I do not. And I think we look to our leader, Mayor Jay Gillian. Just be kind. Just be kind. Everybody chill out, slow down, start being, what's the saying?
The longest town dry forever.
The longest journey.
Talking about generations of milk in the town. Dry.
Hey, be nice. Say be kind. That's what I mean. Be kind.
Listen.
The longest journey, Dom, begins with the first step, right? So the first step is just slow down. Just slow down. I think if everybody slowed down, there would be
I'll
less
agree with you on that one.
Right?
Yeah.
Right. You don't have to go over the speed limit. You don't have to roll through or blow the stop sign. You don't have to go around the guy who's trying to parallel park. Just stop. Let him parallel park. Give him a little breathing room. He'll be happier under less pressure. You'll feel better about yourself. Right? Just if everybody slowed down a little bit. This weekend, today, actually, I had to go out driving in town, and I just found this Zen-like calm come over me, and I just took my time, and people cut me off, they cut me off. They rolled through a stop sign, they rolled through a stop sign. Who cares? And I'm happy.
Well, I think you're onto something there. Slowing down is a something we all could do here in Ocean City, especially this time of year. I mean, the majority of people here are on vacation, right?
Yep. You would think that they would want to slow down.
What are you rushing around for? This is your chance. Enjoy it. Take a breath. Slow
So
down.
the answer is, I think, to end this podcast is we can all get along if we try, if we're all a little more kind to each other.
No, I agree with you. I think,
and if we all had a little sense of humor.
Yeah, that would go a long way this time of year too.
I hope the people listening to this podcast, whether you're a native or any level of resident or non-resident, I hope you have found this conversation somewhat humorous anyway.
Yes, this is not meant to offend anybody, just meant to kind of clear the air and let everybody
have a little
know
fun.
That we do love everyone here in Ocean City, from, like Drew said, from the natives all the way down to the Airbnbers, because I consider them lower than the day trippers.
How about from the natives all the way across?
Across, that's right. Why is one better than the other? Wow.
That's right.
You know what, Drew? This Zen drive that you took today has really affected you in ways that I've never seen before. Across, not down.
I'm bringing this Zen-like attitude to the football field, Dom. Junior Raiders are going to see a Coach Zen.
Coach Zen. Well, that's how I'm going to introduce you in a week when our first workout is. I can't believe it's back already, man. It's crazy how fast time flies here in America's greatest.
I know there's about 100 parents out there who I have coached their children going, yeah, we want to see that. I'll believe that when I see it.
But, I will say your message to just be kind, I think, is a really good one that, everyone should take away while they're here in Ocean City, and take away with them to wherever it is they live, because kindness does go a long way. And if I could add to that a little bit, maybe show some gratitude to Ocean City and be grateful that we get to be here, because it really is one of the most beautiful places in the world. Swan.
I'm grateful to be here every day, Dom. I truly am.
Yeah. Some days I'm not, Drew. I'm not gonna lie. I can't say that I am every single day, because there's some days where I'm like, oh my God, why do I still live here? This is insane. But again, look, it's a first world problem. I say it all the time.
That's right.
I'm complaining about living 600 yards from the beach and a bunch of people wanting to come to a place that I call home. That's so right. How bad do I really have it?
That's right.
So
yeah, the world needs more kindness. Let's all be kind.
Agreed. And let's all show a little bit more gratitude for this great place we call Ocean City. Well, we went along on this one, but it was a fun one, and I hope you all enjoyed. Until next time, this is the OCNJ Local, your podcast for everything happening here in America's greatest family resort. We're your hosts, Dominick Dougherty and Drew Fasy.
And we're your local guys.
Official local guys, we should say. True local guys. Peace, everybody. Take care.